Hey Unicefers, welcome. Today we are so excited because we are going through our first live webinar or YouTube hangout. We're so excited about it. Today we're going to be talking about Trick or Treat for UNICEF. We're going to be talking about UNICEF Club registration, and today we have our youth engagement team with us. So hi everybody, my name is Laura Restrepo and I manage our youth engagement programs.
Hello everyone, I'm Julia Dickhouse and I'm our Campus Initiative Fellow.
Hey everyone, it's Allie Casey and I am the High School Club Fellow.
Awesome. So welcome guys. The way this platform works is super simple. We just want you guys to tell us if you have any questions or comments or anything, and you can post them all in the comments underneath in the YouTube channel. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe as we're going through it. That way you can get yourself updated. We have a really short presentation today that we're going to share with you. So give us 1 second, we'll open up the presentation and we will start going. And it looks weird right now, but we're all set.
Great. So as you all should know, club registration is open. It opened on our website on August 1st, and you can see the quick link there, unicef.org/register your UNICEF club. And of course, there are a couple of requirements, the main ones being that you should have at least 4 student leaders and have their contact information ready to go before you fill out the form, along with 1 faculty advisor. And then we will go ahead and approve the form once you submit it.
Cool. So for a basic timeline of registration, of course, as many of you know, the registration opened on August 1st. And then after you complete a registration form, you should expect to see next steps, whether it's approval or general next steps within 7 to 10 business days. And then after your club is approved, you can also expect to receive a back to school kit in the mail within 4 to 6 weeks of that approval.
So like we said, our hangout today is focused on Trick or Treat for UNICEF. Pretty exciting. It is the start of the academic year. And really, Trick or Treat for UNICEF has a long history. It began 66 years ago as a way of helping kids still affected by World War II. Since then, millions of kids across America have helped to raise more than $175 million for UNICEF, which is crazy and it's amazing. Kids really who Trick or Treat for UNICEF have the power to save children's lives.
Amazing. So now you're probably wondering how you can participate as a UNICEF club member or leader. So one of the most impactful and simple ways to participate is by registering and hosting an event to support the Trick or Treat for UNICEF campaign. And to do that, you will first need to register your event with us by going to unicefusa.org/fundraisers. Then you can also visit trickortreatforunicef.org to order boxes and also download materials. Then you can order your boxes no later than October 26th. And if you do so by that date, it will guarantee delivery before Halloween. So that's very important to note. Then set a goal. Use the materials online and in your kit to chart your progress of helping kids this fall. Okay, so what is in a Trick or Treat for UNICEF kit? It includes collection boxes, educational videos, a poster and guide, and then also a letter home to parents if you are hosting an event with children. And then finally, go door to door on Halloween or plan that fundraising party with your class at your school or within your club.
Cool. And one thing to note on that, guys, is that the Trick or Treat for UNICEF website is now open, so you can start ordering your boxes now. So one great thing about Trick or Treat for UNICEF is you can make such a big impact with such small amounts of donations. And you can see here that just $5 can provide 13 doses of measles vaccines. And you can't see it here, but 7 cents provide 1 packet of a special powder that, when you mix it with water, can save a child from deadly dehydration. Just 50 cents will give a child a notebook and a pencil to use in a classroom. And $17 keeps a kid safe from 6 killer diseases. So really incredible.
Awesome. So now we wanted to give you guys a brief overview of different successful events that we have seen clubs host in the past that benefited the Trick or Treat for UNICEF campaign. So on this slide, at the top picture, you can see Penn State's event last year where they were trick-or-treating door-to-door dressed up in their favorite Halloween costumes. And then just below that was Cornell College, who hosted a pumpkin decorating event. And then on this page, you can see first on the left, Cambridge Ringe and Latin School in Cambridge, Massachusetts, held an event where they sold cider and baked goods on their campus. And then also University of Minnesota created posters to hang around their campus to raise awareness and benefit UNICEF.
Great, so another great way to take action on behalf of Trick or Treat for UNICEF is to hold a social media campaign or post online. So you can see the Harker School in San Jose, California on the left did an awesome photo campaign online where they all dressed up in costumes at school and posted, "I'm going to trick or treat for UNICEF." And then around Halloween time, they actually launched that photo campaign on their campus and went door to door to trick or treat. And then on the right, you can see promotion through Snapchat, which is really fun too.
Cool, and then the final activations we actually have two more, but this next one is the top is Cheshire High School, and they hosted a really creative event where they had classrooms throughout the school compete against each other to see who could raise the most. And then below that, this was a digital competition between the Penn State UNICEF Club and Ohio State's that was actually themed around a major football game that the two schools were competing against to see which club could raise the most money for Trick or Treat for UNICEF.
So last, another way that we've seen clubs be really successful in supporting Trick or Treat for UNICEF is actually to collaborate with local elementary schools. So going to the local elementary school, passing around trick or treat boxes and encouraging kids who are actually at trick or treating age to then take those boxes out on Halloween and trick or treat. We've also seen clubs give Trick or Treat for UNICEF presentations to kind of complement the handing out of boxes and talk about UNICEF's work to elementary school and middle school students around them. One thing to note about this, though, is that if you're going to order boxes on behalf of the elementary school, make sure that you're listing the elementary school's name on the order form and not your high school or college's name. That way, the elementary school won't get shipped 2 orders of boxes. So let's talk about next steps. So it's really important to remember that after Halloween season's over and you've held this awesome Trick or Treat for UNICEF event, to submit your Trick or Treat donations within 30 days of collecting the donations. Even though the Trick or Treat for UNICEF kit will have a Trick or Treat donation form, we actually encourage you as a UNICEF club to use the UNICEF High School and Campus Initiative online or mail-in forms. That way we can credit the donations to your club. And if you're going to turn in a bunch of change through Coinstar, we just ask that you keep the receipt and actually send the receipt in with the mail-in donation form. So again, we can credit your club with that donation. And then also, please don't forget to submit your event story on unicefusa.org/forum/share-your-story, which you can actually just get to really easily on the volunteer page on our site. We really want to hear about your event. We want to feature you on the UNICEF USA website and on the social media accounts. So please don't forget for that last step. And take pictures so you can document it.
So in closing, it's scary how much good you can do. Good luck with your fundraisers and events to benefit Trick or Treat for UNICEF, and know that we're here to support you and help you along the way. You can also see at the bottom of the screen the official hashtag for this year's Trick or Treat for UNICEF campaign, which is TOT for UNICEF. So that's a wrap in the formal presentation that we wanted to provide for you guys, but we wanted to now open it up to questions from the audience. So if you have questions, or also if you would like to share your club's campaign and ideas for this year's Trick or Treat for UNICEF with the group, we would love to hear them as well.
Yeah, and it's super easy to do so. All you have to do is add a comment on the YouTube channel. It's super easy. We will get the comments live. And also, while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. It's super easy. You just got to click subscribe below down here. It's free. And that way you can get updates from all of us and still get information. So yeah, feel free to post any questions. You can also post them on our Facebook page and Instagram pages. We'll be checking all of our social media sites for questions and be able to help support in any way that we can. And it's really cool right now. We have 24 people viewing this live, and it will live on YouTube, which means that even if afterwards, if we went through this too fast, or if you were like, oh my God, I missed that link, or I don't know the name of that form, you can always go back, watch the video, and capture it all.
Definitely. And another suggestion is that if not all of your club members or leaders can watch the video now, you can share this, as Laura was saying, maybe at your next club meeting, and think through the different ways that clubs can take action for trick or treat and actually have a discussion about what you think would work best on your school.
Awesome. So why don't we start with a quick, easy question. Do you guys want to share with everybody what all this fun stuff are behind us?
Let's do it. So we've actually posted on our wall behind us some awesome things that are coming in your back to school kit. So if you've already gotten your back to school kit, please post on social media, hashtag B2SK, or tag us, tag the Unicef High School Clubs or Campus Initiative social media pages, and we can repost you. But some of the things to expect are this awesome Unicef banner that you can use for tabling and for club recruitment. We also have these branded balloons, these posters, Trick or Treat for UNICEF posters you can use, of course, to promote Trick or Treat, and then just the regular UNICEF poster. What's not seen here, actually I have it right here.
There's a whole box over there,
Yeah,
actually.
is the folder that you'll get in your back to school kit that has a lot of helpful resources. Our Teach UNICEF magazine, bios of your National Council member, a couple of donation forms, everything you'll need to have a successful year. So definitely take the time to look through this. What else?
We have the bracelets that are right in front of you, Allie.
So here, this is brand new in the back to school kit this year. These awesome UNICEF designed bracelets that can double as a bracelet or also a hair scrunchie if you'd like.
And shirts.
Woo!
Yay! So
Okay.
you get 5 of these.
Yeah. So we actually had some questions come in. So where do we purchase the UNICEF balloons, pins, and merch if we want to purchase more?
Cool. So there is an online store for UNICEF branded things. I know they have t-shirts, they have pins, they might have a few posters, but actually what most of our clubs do if they want to have more materials beyond what is provided in the back to school kit is design their own. Because it's fairly cheaper and that way you can make it just how you want. The one thing we do ask is that anything with our name or logo, that the design is sent to us first for approval before printing or promoting it. But you can definitely email volunteer@unicefusa.org for some ideas on how to do that. And also under our club resources on the website, you can find the branding guidelines that can help you create things in accordance with their brand.
So I'm going to stop there for a minute and say 2 things. 1, don't forget to like this video. Super easy. 2, subscribe, because we want lots and lots of subscribers so you can learn more about UNICEF clubs and stay up to date on everything. And we have a lot of questions come in, which is super exciting. So first of all, someone says, P.S. Love the background. Thank you. We spent a lot of time on it. And then she was asking us, can you explain Coinstar to someone who has never used it before? And thank you.
That's an amazing question. So on the Trick or Treat for UNICEF.org website, you can find locations of participating Coinstars near you. And what it is basically is a coin collection station. So you submit any of the coins that you collected during a Trick or Treat for UNICEF event, and then it prompts you to be able to submit it directly through that Coinstar to UNICEF. And one thing to mention about that, to make sure that your club gets credit for the amazing fundraising that you completed through Coinstar, make sure to keep the receipt that they provide to you at the kiosk. And then if you submit the receipts to us by mailing it in to our address, along with a mail-in club donation form, we'll be sure to make sure that your club gets credit.
Awesome. So another excellent question. This is coming from UNICEF Belmont. Cool, you guys are joining. Thank you. Is there a limit in the number of boxes we can get? We want to order a lot for elementary schoolers. So the answer to that question is yes and no. No, there isn't a limit, but be careful on the resources. You want to make sure that you have boxes enough for all of the students that you want them to engage in. But you also don't want to have so many that you're going to either be throwing them away or just like keeping them somewhere until next year or something like that, and they get lost or whatever. So just be conscious of how many you're ordering, and make sure that you are giving them to kids, because we definitely want trick-or-treat kids. We want kids to be trick-or-treating out there, so very exciting.
Yeah, and again, just make sure that you are communicating with the administration and the teachers of whatever local elementary school you are, or local group in your community that you're planning to hand out the boxes to, so that you can get that exact number and plan accordingly.
Yeah. Wow, guys, like we're getting awesome questions, so thank you so much for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like I said. So Gabriel asks us a really cool question, which first of all, he says, thank you for doing this. Thank you for joining. And then he was asking, what are the requirements for a club to register and get that really cool back to school kid?
So for a club to register, the requirements are pretty simple. We ask that you have at least minimum 4 student leaders who you can be able to list on the registration form, as well as 1 faculty advisor. And having that faculty advisor and the 4 student leaders is our way of knowing that the club has a solid foundation for the rest of the year and that you're in good standing with your school or your institution. So that's really important. The other thing is just to complete the registration form. If you're a brand new club, you'll have to complete a couple of short answer questions as to why you think Unicef's a good fit for your school, and then wait for our team to approve.
Awesome. So we have another really cool question from Leila, which is, does UNICEF provide money to start an event, to host, basically just to host a UNICEF event?
So UNICEF does not provide anything beyond what we send you in a back to school kit to help you get started. What most of our clubs do is actually host events that are extremely cost efficient and cost the club or the school little to no money. And they do this by, for example, if you're having a bake sale, asking the local restaurants to donate, a few baked goods or a few juices, and telling them that it's going to a good cause. And we actually have found that as long as you do this far in advance, you'll be pretty successful in this ask. Some schools and some universities do provide a little bit of money for extracurricular activities, but of course some don't at all. So we just ask that you get creative, and if you need help talking through some of those ideas and learning from other student leaders who have been really successful at budgeting, we're definitely here to help you with that.
Awesome. So I just want to do a couple quick reminders. First, if you have any questions that want to ask us, and we've been getting great questions coming, please go ahead and comment down below on the YouTube video. We are going through the comments and trying to answer as much as we can. And if we don't get a chance to answer your question because we ran out of time, we will go back through the comments and answer them as much as we can. So first of all, do that. Second of all, for all of you guys that are joining us late, don't worry. This video will live on YouTube. You'll be able to watch the whole first part so you can get caught up later. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all of the UNICEF updates. And we have some other questions. Can I get one of those big boxes? These are hard questions, guys. Do any of you want to take it?
So we do have a limited number of boxes. And so if you email us and your event or fundraiser has already been approved through the fundraiser application and we have one available at the time, we can likely ship you one. But it really does depend on availability and your specific event.
Thanks, Allie. So we have another very cool, interesting question, which is, we're interested in increasing advocacy this year, specifically writing to our Congress people. Are there any resources, UNICEF or otherwise, where we can find legislation that would be good to support?
That is an excellent question. We would definitely encourage you to, if you're interested in getting involved in advocacy, checking out our website. and clicking on supporters and then online advocates. All of the up-to-date campaigns and legislatures that we're supporting are on that page. And then you can also connect with others and become a volunteer and join and find information on all different types of activations there as well.
Thanks. So we have another question. What are some event ideas that can involve all the members of a club and get them volunteer hours? And I think in this question, we can all give different answers to this because we've all had different experiences. And if you guys don't mind, I'll start.
Sure.
Cool. So I was a Unicef club leader myself, and I think that there are a lot of different things, but one thing that you can definitely host that will involve all of your members is just throw like a really big, fun event that involves all your campus. So for example, whether it is a prom or a fashion show or a snowflake gala, something that is like a really cool big event that will involve everybody, it does take a lot of planning and it does involve a lot of people. It also allows some people to take leadership roles that they've never had before, which is a great opportunity to get to know your volunteers, to get to know your club members and involve them through different ways. Do you want to answer it?
Sure. Another way that I've seen successful in involving all club members and also helping retention is implement committees. So whether it be a committee for a specific upcoming event where additional club members, whether they're new club members or members that don't have a leadership position year-round, typically within your club, can participate in. And so it could be for an event specifically, or it could be a year-long activation, like an advocacy committee in your club as well. It really gives people a chance to step up and have more of a concrete role for a longer term and keep club members excited and involved throughout the year.
Yeah, and I think for Trick or Treat for UNICEF, especially because it's such kind of an easy ask of people, like you're just asking them to donate some spare change. It's definitely a campaign where you can try to reach the masses and you can succeed. So I've seen really successful club events like conquer an entire neighborhood. If you have however many members, dividing and conquering like certain parts of your block, and that takes a lot of manpower. And so it's an easy way to involve all of your club members because you couldn't accomplish something like that with 3 people. I mean, you might be able to, but it would be difficult and it would take a long time trick-or-treating, or even, going dorm to dorm on a college campus with the trick-or-treat boxes. That takes a lot of manpower too. So thinking about those wide-scale activities, Trick-or-Treat for UNICEF is a great way to do it and keep those club members hooked during fall.
Yeah. Guys, you guys have been amazing at asking really cool questions, so please keep them coming. Post all your questions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'm going to say this a million times until you guys get bored of it, but we really want you guys to engage with us and to ask as many questions as you want. So we have another question. We've actually had several questions. So another question is, can we request for the trick-or-treat boxes to be mailed to the officer's house instead of the school?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you register to receive trick-or-treat boxes, you can input any address that you would like.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. We have another question. Literally, like, awesome questions. Keep them coming. So, hi. Hello. How can we order trick-or-treat boxes? Also, can high school students participate in trick-or-treat, or is it only for elementary schoolers or schools, I guess?
So you can place an order for your boxes on trickortreatforunicef.org, and anyone can participate in Trick or Treat for UNICEF. Because elementary age kids are of trick-or-treating age, there are a lot of elementary school age students that participate in Trick or Treat for UNICEF because they can take the boxes door to door around Halloween time. But as you can see, our high school and college students in UNICEF clubs get really creative with participating, and it's one of our biggest campaigns of the year. So absolutely, high school students can participate.
Awesome, guys, honestly, coolest questions. Okay, I'm like really impressed by these questions. So do we need to submit an event application for elementary school presentations? One, I want to say thank you for asking this. It doesn't say your name. It just says UNICEF at the U. And I just want to say thank you for asking this. We want more people to know about the event application fundraiser. Any of you want to take it up?
Yeah, sure. We would definitely encourage you to complete a fundraiser and event application if you are speaking at an elementary school. To make it simple and to think about it like this, we like to think about it, any event that is beyond a general UNICEF Club meeting would require completion of the fundraiser and event form.
And that's unicefusa.org/fundraisers. And in addition to that rule, another best practice is to try to complete that application about 2 to 3 weeks at least before you're actually planning to host the event. That gives us enough time to approve it and to follow up with you on any conversations we need to have before.
Awesome. So I'll do the quick stop here, like the video, subscribe. I'll say it a million times, but honestly, if you have any questions, comment below. And by the way, check out other questions. If you like a certain question or have a different answer or have a new idea from what we shared, put it in the comments below, reply to the person. There was somebody who asked about club events. If you have other club events, share them. That's the purpose of this platform, is for you guys to share with each other best practices. And we want to see that. We want you guys to be sharing with each other and to tell each other stories, because you guys know it much better than what we can do. So we have another great question. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for joining. We wouldn't be doing this without you, so thanks. My high school club wants to collaborate with other nearby clubs. How do I know which clubs are nearby to work with? This is a great question.
Go ahead. So yeah, awesome question. We definitely encourage club-to-club collaboration and even high school to campus club collaboration. So we have UNICEF clubs and maps that live on our website. And you can actually see last year's Google Maps that list all of the clubs and the school addresses right there on one map. And we're planning to update the club maps for this year in just a week or two, beginning of September, now that we have a lot of new clubs registering for this academic year. So stay tuned. It definitely should be live within the next week or two. And once it is, you can check out the clubs in your area and get in touch from there.
Yeah, and another way also to connect with clubs in your area is to reach out to your national council member, and they can support connecting you guys. And they also will be hosting regional club hangouts throughout the year, which are webinars that are region specific that facilitate a platform that will promote club collaboration and idea sharing and more. So be on the lookout for that soon from your national council member.
Yeah, so we do have more questions to answer, but I wanted to give a stop for a minute here and just to remind everybody about our back to school registration. If your club has not registered yet, make sure to go to unicefusa.org/volunteers and select whether you're a campus or a high school club to register your club. We really want you guys to register your club, because one of the coolest things about registering your club, not only that we get your information, we can contact you, but you get some really cool swag, as you see on display here on our beautiful background, which we are so excited to give to you guys and to share. So please, please go register your club. On a fun note, for the past 29 days, we are about to hit 300 clubs re-registered this year. Yay! So help us get to 300. We have 2 days where we really want to hit the 300 mark. We're really pushing for it. So take a moment, if you have not re-registered your club, to re-register your club. If you have already re-registered your club, thank you. You should be receiving your back to school kit soon. And yeah, and we'll go back to questions. By the way, if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. We'll keep answering them. So another question. Can a global citizenship fellow from our regional office come in and speak about a certain month's theme at one of our meetings?
Great question. If a global citizenship fellow in your area is available to speak or join one of your events, they would more than love to do so. One way you can do that is by connecting with them through email, putting in the request, and also, in addition to that, filling out the fundraiser and events application and specifying that you're interested in having a fellow speak at your event. And maybe we can chat in the email address for the fellows as well, so that you guys can have that.
Yeah, we'll add it to the comments for sure. We'll put it in the description box. How about that? Awesome. So I'm seeing a few of a similar questions that we've already answered, and maybe we can sort of re-answer a question since they're coming in again. Is we want to get us more merchandise. How can I get this awesome balloons and awesome stuff on the table?
Okay.
Surprise is a question about that.
So typically we don't send any more materials beyond what we provide you in the back to school kit. There is a Unicef USA online store, and we can provide that link as well, where you can purchase more t-shirts. They have pins, a few other branded items, but what most of our clubs like to do actually is design their own materials, whether that's banners or even more shirts. It's fairly cheaper, and also you can make it just how you like. So we have branding guidelines under our club resources that we really encourage you to follow. It'll make designing it more easy. And we just ask that whatever you do design that uses our name or our logo to send to us, volunteer@unicefusa.org first for approval. And when it comes to these guys, we do have a limited amount. So if you have an approved fundraiser or event and you want the trick or treat boxes, you can email us, see if it's available, and we might be able to send you one.
Awesome. So I just wanted to stop for a minute, give everybody my quick reminder to like this video, subscribe to the channel, but also you should definitely be following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have a Facebook for the UNICEF campus, which is Facebook.com/campus initiative. We also have for high school, which is UNICEF High School Clubs, or Facebook.com/UNICEF High School Clubs. We also have a Twitter account for each of our programs, which is Twitter @UNICEF Campus and
UNICEF HSC.
Thank you. She's so on top of it. And then we also have Instagram, which do you guys want to share what the Instagram?
Yeah. Campus is the same as UNICEF Campus.
And high school is the same as Facebook, UNICEF High School Clubs.
So you definitely should go follow them because one, we give all the updated information there. It's like the coolest way to stay up to date with all of us. And two, you can ask us any question there. We will make sure to answer all the questions there. And three, we post everything that's like last minute, really cool opportunities, important updates, everything. Most of them get posted through social media. So make sure to be looking out and build community. You know, you get to connect with the other UNICEF clubs through those pages. So feel free to post, ask questions, comment, etc.
Yeah. And it's a way for us to spotlight you. If your club is doing something awesome, we can definitely post about you and share it with other UNICEF clubs.
Do you want to talk a little bit about, remind everybody about the story, the collection of stories?
Yeah, so a really cool update for this year is we are definitely collecting more and more of your club stories and photos from your events. And if you just go to unicefusa.org/volunteer, it's a really easy form you can fill out to submit your volunteer story. So as the UNICEF Club, anytime you do that, we'll be sure to look at it, take it down, and share it on our social media pages and maybe the UNICEF USA social media accounts as well. So a really great opportunity to get the word out for you and for us just to say thank you for all of the amazing work that you do.
Yeah. So we'll go back to questions. So Pacifica High School UNICEF. Hi, guys. Glad you're watching. So hi. We are a new board on campus, and our board members were throwing around ideas and wanted to start some larger scale fundraising. Since there are other organizations around the world that do things such as food bank drives, canned food drives, or fundraising to build schools in third world countries, we're wondering if UNICEF has any program like this as well. Thank you for your time. Sorry if you already went over something like this. First of all, don't feel bad for asking questions. We love questions. Do any of you want to take it? I can take it. So it's, you know, we don't exactly collect cans and we don't exactly do a specific, you can fundraise for the school. However, I really encourage you to see the Inspire Gifts catalog. If you've never seen it, it's on our UNICEF page. If you Google, honestly, UNICEF Inspire Gifts, and you guys can fundraise for items that are listed there. So things like motorcycles or water kits, and there's price point of how much it costs for us to send one of those to the field, and you can fundraise specifically to that. There's also other great ideas that you can look at different, in the UNICEF Inspired Gifts catalog, there's different things like you can provide a certain amount of educational materials or intent or different materials. Really take the moment to look through them to get more ideas about big fundraisers. It's also about building education in your community and getting everybody involved. You can fundraise for a specific country. You can fundraise for a specific program area. There's 7 UNICEF program areas that you can fundraise for. But really, and this is kind of my plug for general fundraisers, where one of the things that we push most is to let the experts be experts and to allow UNICEF to have the resources to deal with emergencies. And that means the more general the fundraiser, the less specific it is, the easier it is for UNICEF to be able to give the money to the people that need it the most at the moment where they most need it. And that only happens if you guys can help us educate those members in your community and can help us spread the word about that. But by the way, that was an awesome question, and good luck, and let us know if you need any help planning fundraisers. We love hopping on phone calls to support all of you guys and answering any cool questions.
Yeah, and just to add on that, we have a lot of materials that explains exactly how UNICEF uses the donations that you all fundraise for. So if you're interested in reading through those beyond what you can find on our website, just email us and we're happy to share those.
Yeah, for sure. I also, you brought up a really good point, Allie, which is we just redid all of our online resources, and you should definitely spend like 5 minutes checking them out if you have not done so. Also, a quick reminder, this video is going to live on YouTube, which means that you can go back and rewatch it, rewatch the beginning, rewatch any middle part or the whole thing. And you can also continue commenting below, asking questions or sharing ideas with each other, and we'll make sure to be answering them and to get engaged. Like the video if you haven't done so, subscribe, because you all should subscribe to this channel. It's super easy. You have to just click the subscribe button right below. And check out the website, like I said, for all the resources.
Yep, it's unicefusa.org/club resources.
Thank you.
Another cool resource that we have for the first time this year also is a UNICEF Club's year-long calendar. There's a PDF version of it on the resources page, and there's also a digital one, which is actually a Google Calendar, so you can subscribe to it, which is awesome. And in the calendar, it has monthly activations and themes, reminders. It has specific dates, times, and locations for events that happen throughout the year, and much more. It's updated regularly, so it should definitely be a very helpful resource for you guys.
So we have another really good question, which is, our school does not allow us to fundraise. What are some different ways that we can keep our club active and interesting?
Yeah, this definitely happens from time to time from various different clubs. And the beauty of UNICEF clubs is that it's not all about fundraising. We have 3 pillars, so fundraising, education, and advocacy. So we would definitely encourage you to host educational awareness events, whether it's a film screening or a panel conversation about a different UNICEF topic that your club and your school is interested in, or also organize advocacy activations, whether it's getting involved with a UNICEF Congressional Action Team, or whether it's a letter writing campaign or petition signing and more. That's also all those resources that are available on our website.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great ways for you guys to continue to stay involved and get your club excited. You know, a big part of it is education. And I think that we tend to skip over it a little bit, but it's such a fundamental thing to do in your club. Educate your members. So I've heard clubs that do, for example, a country of the month, where every month in their club meeting, they present about a country and the situation of the country, understanding kind of the political climate, the economic climate, the social climate, the education system, the health system, everything that like makes a country. They talk about it and make it, you know, and have a conversation and learn about it. So every month you're learning about a new club, a new country, sorry, and then you're also learning about what UNICEF is doing in that country. Unicef.org, if you go info by country, it will actually give you information of what UNICEF is doing in every single country where we have a program area, which, by the way, it's over 190 countries and territories, so you're not going to run out of countries, don't worry. And there's really a lot of different ways that you can continue to educate your community and your school. As Julie said, you can do advocacy events. You can really just do all kinds of things in your community and your club.
Yeah, for educational opportunities, also check out teachunicef.org, has plenty of resources to provide educational opportunities and events.
Yes, that's a great resource.
Yeah, and I would also encourage you to visit the End Trafficking page on our website. They have a lot of great ideas for events to take action that are, majority of them are awareness raising. So whether it's promoting fair trade or hosting an end trafficking film screening, they have a lot of ways to take action that don't require collecting donations. So that's another great opportunity.
So we have an excellent question here, which is, if a high school club has both a UNICEF club and a Key club, and I'm going to add the campus component, if a campus school has a UNICEF club and a Circle K club, should the club collect and submit the funds for Trick or Treat for UNICEF together or separate? That is an amazing question for you to ask. So this is a really hard question to answer because it depends a little bit on the politics of the club. It depends on the politics of your school. It depends on how you guys raise the funds. At the end of the day, no matter how you submit the Trick or Treat funds, they're going to come to help save children's lives. So know that, first of all, no matter what, is going to come to UNICEF. A lot of times you can submit it in any way that you guys feel is the best way for the dynamics of your school. We've heard of schools that are like, oh, we can only send them to our Key club or our Circle K club, or we've heard of schools where they say we can only send them to the UNICEF club. But just give us a heads up that that's also coming from your club. So just say, hey, this is being sent to the Key club, but it was also raised in partnership with this UNICEF club. That way we know and we can track it and give both of you guys like credit for it. Credit? Yeah, it's like a credit for it, saying you both did the work together. It was a partnership, especially if you guys work together, which is honestly the strongest way that you can build a Trick or Treat for UNICEF on your campus is by bringing as many partners as you can together. Other than that, you know, if you guys didn't work together, you guys can also send it in separately. That's not a big deal at all. It will still get processed. It will just get processed separately. So look at the dynamics in your school. Figure out what's best. And you guys should have an open conversation between the two clubs to decide that ahead of time. We will give you credit no matter what on both ends. Was that clear enough? Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome. We are really getting amazing questions, guys. Thank you so much. I'm looking down, by the way, because our questions are below, not because I don't like y'all. Allie, while I look at more questions, do you want to remind us on the stories, collecting stories?
Yes. So friendly reminder that we are really encouraging you to submit your story to our volunteer website by sharing your volunteer story. And what we mean by this is that anytime your club hosts a cool campaign, a cool event, or a cool fundraiser, make sure you take pictures and submit them on our volunteer website. So if you go to unicefusa.org and go to the volunteer page, it's a really easy form you can submit and talk a little bit about the event and what inspired you and share pictures. And once we get that, we can highlight you on our social media channels. So it's a great way for us to thank you and to feature you and for clubs to share ideas with one another.
And I'll do a stop reminder of like the video below, super easy, and subscribe. Follow us on social media, all the fun stuff. Don't forget about that. So we got an awesome question. And I think this might be our last question for the day, just because we want to be conscious of everybody's time. And but if you have other questions, just put them in the comments below. We will be looking at them and replying as much as we can. And we also be interacting in social media. So feel free to just add all the questions in any social media outlet that you feel comfortable. Also, one thing we actually haven't mentioned at all right now is you can also email volunteer@unicefusa.org with any questions, comments. If you have something that's like, I need to write a really long email about this like particular situation, volunteer@unicefusa.org. So the last question that I think we're going to do just for tonight, it is, how do you partner with other businesses or restaurants in the area, or how would a UNICEF club partner? Doing it.
Awesome question. We definitely encourage collaboration between local businesses and restaurants or other organizations and your UNICEF club as well. Reach out and see what local businesses or restaurants are interested in supporting, whether it's like something like a Chipotle that can do a fundraising event, or if it's a local bakery that's willing to donate resources to you in your event, whether it's a bake-off or things of that sort. But if you're ever unsure if it's appropriate to be collaborating with a local business or restaurant or organization, just make sure to designate that on your fundraiser and events application. Then we can have a longer conversation with you about it to make sure that it's the right kind of collaboration that we want to be having.
Yeah, we're definitely here to support you guys, so feel free to ask those questions. So I really want to be conscious of everybody's time, and I just want to take a moment to say thank you guys so much for everything that you do for UNICEF and for the world's children. We know that you guys dedicate a lot of time and commitment to doing the work that you do. So yay, we love you. We really do love y'all. So feel free, like I said before, subscribe, like the video, continue commenting, continue the conversation below. We really want you guys to continue having a conversation. Share the video with all of your club members. Show it if you want to do it. Don't forget to email us and follow us on social media. And thank you all so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of the night, everybody.
Thanks for joining. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.